Oh yeah, let's go right here for the time being. Welcome to you guys. Today we are going to cook a little hamburger steak with onions, and I'm gonna make some rice and also some gravy from the grease yielded from the hamburger steak. Now, if you did not know what a hamburger steak was up until this point, then I'm going to not just show you, but I'm going to tell you now too. So I take ground beef and I portion it out to about the size of a regular steak. So I take literally just hamburger meat, form it in the shape of a steak, and then you cook that just like you would a steak. I would normally do a steak on the grill, but because I want to make gravy from the drippings from the steak, I'm going to do this on the cast iron skillet. So that is happening first. We're going to make the steak, and I haven't decided whether I'm going to saute the onions separately or if I'm going to mix it all together in the steak and then let it cook that way. But we'll decide that when we get in there. But anyway, that's what a hamburger steak is literally just hamburger meat cooked like a steak. And then you eat it like a steak with a knife and fork. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Jason, Jade, Emo, Pooter. Good to see y'all. Please make sure, I know you guys are already doing this. For everyone else that joins this, please make sure to like the video when you come in. It's just a thing that I ask of you. It's all I ask. And if you enjoy the video, I invite you to subscribe and click the notification bell so that you'll be notified when I go live in moments like this or when I post a new video like I'm going to do next week, because the podcast is coming back next week. Hooray. The podcast is back next week. Also, I'll tell you guys at the top right now, just in case you don't get much further than this in the video, because I know that the audience retention is an issue with YouTube and just in general. But tomorrow at noon, so about, I don't know, about 13, 14, hold on. Yeah, like 15 hours from now, I'm going to be going live again at Friends Bar in Austin, Texas. We're going to be doing some live streaming with live music. And I'm having a simple word from my sponsors here currently. And I'm going to go start this hamburger steak process. Hell yeah. Let's go do it. I've been having trouble lately with YouTube not showing the amount of viewers. Like, it's only saying we've got one viewer right now, but there's obviously like 5 of us in here. For whatever reason, it's not. And we're doing fixed. I'm not doing the main. We're not doing multicam today for obvious reasons. This was a last minute. I was just gonna cook, but then I'm like, I wanted to stream it because I'm making a gravy, and I'm gonna try, Jason. I don't really know it, but I'll do my best, bud. Get my cast iron out. Wipe out the excess oil from that. Can you guys see over here? Yeah. excess oil from the cast iron. So maybe I'm gonna back up a little bit on this and tighten that up some and go back. That way you get a wider view. You get that and this. Perfect. Also don't have a monitor for chat set up. I'm literally just gonna move through this today. But the first thing I'm gonna do is, I've already got my hamburger meat here, ready to go. Already chopped it open, and then I was like, you know what, I should stream this. So I halted the process and got this set up. So now, toss this vacuum bag. And I'm going to salt pretty liberally, even a little more. And I'm also gonna pepper. My nose is running. I'm getting cold, and I sat outside a couple days this past week, and it was just good amount of pepper there. I'm not gonna do onion powder or garlic powder because I'm doing actual onion. Which, get that ready. We'll use this big guy here. And also, I'm gonna need some rice. I don't know how much rice this is. I may need more. Just getting all my ingredients together here. Since this is the end of that bag, we're just gonna rip this open so we can get everything out and nothing gets caught up in the corner there. There we go. Whatever isn't in there is gone now. I don't feel like messing with it anymore. So that's like a cup and a half. I'm just gonna go 2 even cups because I like even numbers. A cup and a half is probably enough, but I use Mahatma rice because that's what my grandmother used. So, rice goes back, got that. I don't think I have any broth. I don't. Noses are running. I'm actually a little congested. I'm a little worried about this gig tomorrow because I don't like to be congested when I need to use my voice. I can't hit notes as well. Wonder, should I put, what do you guys think? Should we put a little onion in the meat as well? Yeah, some people add cheese to the raw meat. Onions may be the devil, but I like the devil. I'm a big fan. Speaking of big fan, any like, if you guys want to tip Frankie, feel free to do that. Frankie is still accepting tips today. But it won't be displayed on the screen because mobile doesn't have the ability to integrate the Streamlabs widgets. So therefore, you won't see any of the things on the screen today. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix all of this meat together. I think I want to do the onions on the side as well. Get this all mixed together like so. And basically all I'm doing is just squeezing the meat and forming it around. Get your minds out of the gutter. And then, like, to form it out, I'll just slap it down in there like this. Works better on that. When you can actually, when there's no give, when you slap it down, you see. And then, by the time you're done with it, it's a pretty considerably large patty here, you see. So I'm gonna just leave that sucker thick like that and over to one side so it's easy to get out. Now we're gonna wash the hands. We are going to play games today. I know that'll be a question for later. So, we are going to play games tonight. Going to do some Witcher. I have to go to bed early tonight. I got to be up at like 9:30 in the morning so that I can get ready and do all of my routine before so I can do all of my routine before I go do that gig. So tonight will not be a long night, but that's why we're getting started a little early on this. And I have a little leftover pizza that I could have just thrown in the air fryer. To reheat, which I've never tried before, but I'm going to next time I go to reheat the pizza, because I've heard the air fryer is the best way to do that. All right. So this onion's got a bulge in it. All right. The onion trash out of here. And that big skin, because hopefully we can get the rest of it to come off easily. But it looks like I'm going to be taking the top layer of this onion off anyway. I'm also cutting into it a little bit to get rid of that guy. Because though this is a big onion, it looks like there's a bad spot in it. And if you have a bad spot on your onion, you can toss it. That's up to you if you want to do that. But I always just, you can cut it out. And if it looks like the outer layer might have something wrong with it, just go ahead and rip that whole piece of skin off. You're not losing much onion in that outer layer, and sometimes it ends up being a little slimy. So you can pull that whole sucker off. Like, for instance, right here, you see this? I'm just going to cut that off. Gone. So now, and there's a little, shave that off. All right, these are good to chop now. Oop, And yeah, you might lose a little bit of onion, but it's gonna be okay. Don't freak out. As far as I'm going to cut the onions, don't need to cut anything else. Just going to wash this knife. I got the snivels. I really hope I don't get sick for Christmas because I really want to take some acid Tuesday and just reset my brain. Acid's really good for that. If acid's a little much for you, mushrooms are also good for it. I like having a little brain reset. Every year or so, and I haven't done it in a couple years. All right. Now we can go ahead and get some heat going in this cast iron. I noticed a video on YouTube the other day that said a lot of people don't know how to cook with cast iron. A lot of people will mess up the cooking process by not preheating the pan. So I figured I'd let you guys know in case there's some of you that don't cook with cast iron a lot. That's clutch. Let the pan get hot, good and hot, before you introduce any kind of fat to it. And the fat today for us is going to be butter and also grease from the hamburger meat. I got some minced garlic here that we're going to drop in there. I'm going, I think, to do the onions first for a little bit to saute them up because the onions are a little bit more dense. It's harder to cook onions through. They're harder than meat. And plus, for the cast iron, since I'm cooking on the elemental heat, instead of the actual flame, which one day I would like to maybe get propane, like a propane stove, because I really just like cooking over fire, and that gets cast iron hot like it needs to be. But with elemental, you can tell, and I think I've shown you guys before when I was doing gravies in the cast iron, like you can see there's a small portion of the cast iron that gets hot when you're cooking on this sort of stove. So it's just a little pocket. So I really want to get the use of that heat source in the pan on these before I introduce the extra grease that the burger is going to produce. And plus, it'd be nice to get a little onion flavor in the pan before I introduce the meat. Because once I introduce the meat, it's going to start producing a lot of grease. And that'll be nice for the onions, which is going to be around the edge of the pan at this point. And you'll see, I'll bring you guys over here whenever we do that. We're letting that pan get hot right now. And we're gonna give it a few more minutes. So let's go have another word from our sponsors while we wait for that pan to heat up. Did y'all hear that? Shout out to my boy Mason. If y'all ever wonder why y'all hear that, it's an inside joke. My buddy Mason, I've been on his podcast before, the High Noon podcast. He would always burp real loud. Did y'all hear that? So that was me doing an impression of Mason. So it's an inside joke every time y'all hear me say that. Ooh, that was a back. You heard that, right? That was the back. Another quick little word. This is gonna make my nose run even more. So this is this clip that we're on right now. This phone clip that's holding you guys up is the clip that usually my monitor phone goes into. What's up, Roadkill? Let's see if we can get the other side. Oh, there it went. Y'all probably couldn't hear that one though. That one wasn't as snappy. It was more higher up the back. This is such a sweet moment in Ratatouille where this guy's in love with this girl and he's just scared of her and he's scared to tell her and he finally does. And then they end up happily ever after. It's a sweet moment. All right, that pan should be close enough to hot now. And I have a little Sprite here that I'm going to bring in. Enjoy a little Sprite. My ear just popped. I was going to make some sweet tea, but I got some soft drinks last night. Because I just want to be a piece of shit. Sometimes I want to be, it's okay, right? That's fine. Sometimes you're going to find yourself wanting to be a little bit of a piece of shit. That's okay. I got a Sprite and I got a Dr. Pepper. I thought it was going to be, oh, we have a fly. Oh, guys, I got a fly. And I see where it is. Hold everything, guys. Don't let him go anywhere. Keep your eye on him. Keep your eye on him. And we gotta turn you towards him. I think you can see him now. Got you, bitch. Now where did he go? He's somewhere around here. Well, maybe I shot him on the floor over here, or he's a super fly like Missy Elliott. We're gonna leave this guy right here. I'm gonna leave that guy right there just in case. We got him. It's got. But anyway. That pan's hot. The second we throw some fat into it, like this butter, it's about to get. It's gonna sizzle up nice. Y'all ready to see a good sizzle? We're gonna do a little hibachi joke. You wanna see a butterfly? There's that sizzle. There's that sizzle we were looking for. So I ain't even giving it no time. Let me get my fork here that I like to use. That's it. Straight in. We're gonna let it get butter in on all the sides there. Let these onions get comfortable with the heat. Go. Now it's mostly broken up. I'm leaving a few of them like together in here, just they get better surface coverage. Now it gives us enough time to cook our rice. Get it washed. More than 2 cups of water. That's what we need. Onions are sizzling. If I wanted to do these things quicker, I'd do them on a higher heat. I'm leaving them on medium. Medium heat is enough. Medium heat is enough. Swirling this rice around in the water. Give it a little stir with the fingers there. That's how to properly wash rice. I'd give it about, enough water to cover the rice and then some. Then you gotta wash your rice a couple of times. You don't have to. One's probably good, but like I'm a little OCD about it, so I'll go at least 3 times. And pretty much what you want is, I'll show you. You'll see that the water here. You'll see that it's kind of foggy. You can't really see. You can kind of see the rice through it, but not really. Anyway, let me. You just want it until the water is not like super fogged up. And I'll go one more rinse. The reason you wash your rice is just to get rid of all the excess starch, like wash the starch away a little bit. And see, then you'll notice on this one, you can see the rice in there. I'm also almost dunking water out on you. You can see the rice in there, so like that's how I know it's at least clean enough. Oh, I sloshed some out. That it's at least cleaned enough to make me comfortable to cook it. And usually if you just pour slow like this, the rice will kind of clump together on the inside of pan pot. Is it a pot or a pan? What is this thing called? And a little extra water is not going to hurt anything at all. Pour this around the edge so that I can get all the rice off the walls in here. Sit it flat. Give it a little shake. And I'm not putting any seasoning at all on the rice, which I used to do that. I've stopped doing that just because I don't, like, I'd rather the seasoning power, white rice. And all I gotta do is hit start on this rice. It's gonna take the rice a minute, but let's see how these onions are doing here. The thing with onions, like this guy right here is stuck. That got a lot of nice color on it. Because this pan was super hot. Now that it is all fairly hot, I'm going to hit it with salt, the pepper, I usually pepper a little bit more than salt on some things, and this is one of those things. We're going to hit start on that rice in about 10 minutes. And at this point in the cooking process, I'm going to add two things. A nice couple of little globs of garlic. And a little bit of Worcestershire. Worcestershire. Let's hit the fan on a little bit there. So, garlic, Worcestershire sauce, onion, very nice aroma there. You guys will see here. Here, I'll give you the guys a turn around. So y'all see here, this is what we're looking like now. So now I'm getting to a point to where I can, we'll let them level out in the pan. Anytime you see me shaking the pan like that, I'm just trying to level everything out. So I'm going to let that do its thing there for a minute, and then the meat is almost ready to go on. Because it's liable to take the rice, 2 cups of rice will probably take 15 minutes in the cooker. So there's 8 minutes left. I'm gonna let this onion do its thing for another minute without touching it. See how you guys are doing. Make sure to like the video if you haven't yet, guys. The POV shot, that's right. Hell yeah, make rice. What's up, Jesse? By the way, what's up, Roadkill? And anybody else I haven't welcomed yet that's here? Hans, what's up, Hans? Page like a book. Roll Tide, page like a book. Sat Rack, it will be an honor. It's been a minute on the onions, but I'm gonna take a minute and wash this cutting board here real quick, right? You guys are keeping up. I always say do this. This is just you want to wait instead of standing around for a minute. Do something productive. Check your chat. Wash your dishes. That way you don't have to do it when the time comes. That way it's already done. When the time comes around, it's already done. You guys got a decent little, let's give you a little more height and a down look on that. That way you can see down in the pan here. And here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna all right, these onions are now crispy. The onion's in the middle anyway. So, honestly, these onions will stay warm. I'm gonna just pull the onions. All right. I would normally not do this. Don't ever sit things on any kind of cooking surface, no matter what, whether it's on or off. And you guys can see I can pick this pan up. It's a little warm, but cast iron gets so hot so fast that it really doesn't have time to reach the pan, the handle. So we've got a decent mess of onions here. And wrap the onions up in foil, keep them hot. All right, now pan smoking. Here we go. Y'all ready for a money shot? Let that go. It'll release when it's ready. Whenever it is ready to be turned over, it'll release naturally. We don't have to worry about that. But one thing I've been doing lately is using the weight, using the cast iron weight. It's already releasing some nice smells there. We're going to put some weight on it. Like so. And you say, can you use that on raw meat? I didn't know whether you could or not. I asked, this thing belongs to Tony, Gnarly, Tony Fathead. So I asked Tony, I was like, can I do that? And he was like, yeah, I put it on raw meat all the time, just wash it with soap. Because that's not like the kind of thing that you can't put soap on, you know? And I mean, technically you could put soap on cast iron, but like, my grandmother didn't. So I'm not gonna. And just like that, while we're waiting on that to get to the point to where it can be released and flipped, go ahead and watch the mixing bowl we mixed it in. You could have just Could have just put salt and pepper on the outside of it, but I wanted the flavor to be in it and not just on it. Stick that right there. I'm running out of room here. Time to move some of this stuff to where it goes in here. Ah, that was something. And this guy's got a, there it is. That'll be there. Go the other way with it. Because I want to get a nice char on the bottom of it. I haven't looked at the clock yet. I was about to say it seems like it's about time to start the rice. We got 40 seconds left, so I'm just going to cancel that. But I'm going to set a 20-minute timer just because I have a real bad, like, I'm bad with, like, the movement of time. Like, time doesn't, I don't really have a great concept of time. So just setting a timer for 20 minutes gives me an idea of how long things take, which is something I'm going to start doing just for myself. And I'm going to look, here, I'll show you. I'm going to look on the side of the pan here into the, that's going to be a thumbnail right there. You see all that happening in there? And you can tell how the meat is being cooked up the side. You can see how the meat's being cooked up the side there. Kind of nice. Which means that I should be able to take this fork and just slide this sucker around, huh? No, it hasn't released yet. And that's the rule on cast iron. When it's ready to be flipped, it'll release. I'm going to need this guy. I'm going to leave it. Still feel like I'm going to need to just kind of give it a little help to flip it over, but I don't know. I wouldn't mind having a cooking show. That'd be cool. But I cook all the, I don't cook fancy things that I think people in those situations like would want to watch, like, or would want to fund, rather, like if it were like on a network or something like that. I don't think people are I don't think people care too much about fat redneck cooking hamburger steaks. But I mean, if you guys do, maybe they would too. All right, I'm gonna just. Okay, there it is. Just from that side, it'll move. Something over there. Just a little bit here, but all that's going to end up being flavor for that gravy. And here's something. Here, check this out. That's how it's going so far. Y'all are doing a great job liking the video. Thank y'all for that. Be sure to be subscribed as well. Pauly Dean, totally awesome with Pauly Dean. This will give me enough time to get my flour mixed together. Last time I measured the flour, it didn't come out right. Definitely not making that mistake again. I don't need that much gravy. And honestly, that's probably too much flour anyway. That's probably enough. In the flour, I'm going a little Lawry's seasoned salt and a decent amount of it. Pepper, a good bit. And this, I'm out of garlic powder, I gotta get more. Onion powder, I gotta get more. That's fine, onions are in there, garlic's in there. So this is how much of the seasonings I put to the flour. You can see how much flour's in there. It's not very much, but that's how much seasonings I had to go in there with it. And I just come in here and I find a skewer and just stir it all together here. And you don't have to use all of this, by the way. So y'all can't. Here, I'm gonna show you guys the amount of grease that we're accumulating here. So this, you see when I slide it to the, well, this guy doesn't want you to see it. See when I slide that, you see how that grease is coming up on the edge there? All the sliding around the side. That's what's going to make our gravy. So I'm actually going to add more fat to that. I'm putting more butter in there whenever it's time to make the gravy. And to be perfectly honest, like with as hot as this is, I could put this right now the way that it is in here with this onion and wrap it back up together, and it would probably finish cooking internally, and that would give us enough time to go ahead and get started on the gravy. So it's been about 7.5 minutes since I set that 20-minute timer. And that's probably enough time to have cooked this whole thing on both sides. It only takes about 3 to 4 minutes a side, really, on a pan that gets good and hot like this one does. I wonder if it's ready to release. It's ready on that side. Not on this side. I'm going to let it. I made the mistake. When I went to flip it over, I should have just left it for just a little bit longer, because then that one side would have released, and I would have been able to just easily pull it away from the pan. There it is. Now it comes up. Actually, going straight into this plate here. Let me get this thing unwrapped and not ripped. There we go. A bed of onions. Oh man, the smell I got when I pulled that was incredible. Hang out here for now, bud. And I'll show you guys what we're working with. Oh, there we go. So far, that's our guy. So, bam. But while the pan's hot, I want to get the gravy in there. I wanted to show y'all real quick. I want to get some more butter. I'm going roughly 2 tablespoons of butter. And in this butter, I'm literally just gonna walk it around the pan like this. Y'all see the amount of liquid that's moving around in this pan now? Y'all see the amount of liquid we got going in here now? That's good. But while I'm also moving the butter around, I'm also using the fork to kind of break away from the bottom of the pan. Also, before this gets any drier, I need to has proper aluminum placement, by the way. Stretch across the sides, fit it around each edge, and then just wrap. And then you can press down. All right. And I'm getting everything off the bottom of the pan. I'm actually going to use this guy too, so scrape up all of that flavor there. I don't know if you guys can see all that I'm scraping off of the bottom of the pan. This is good. Like I said, the handle's hot, but I can still still touch it. I guess I'm getting a little better with the asbestos hands, maybe. And there's some of it that's a little gunky. I know exactly what that is. That is the Worcestershire sauce. That does get a little gunky in there. Okay. So now we're going to get the stirring and get the sprinkling. Can you pat your head and rub your belly at the same time? That's what this is. You got to be able to drizzle and stir and talk at the same time. And with this amount of flour, and that amount of grease, let me get this dude out of the way. You go over there. I don't need that anymore. And that's all of our flour there. You know what? Before I add my water, I'm actually going to hit with a little bit more. Just enough to cover the pan because I want it to get to a certain consistency. I want it to be at a certain consistency before I start adding water. And I'm also not going to make the mistake I made last time by adding water too soon. This is getting to be a really nice brown color that I'm going to want, and I like that. All right. Rice still hasn't reached that 10-minute mark on the timer, so it's still got more than 10 minutes, which is good because I always end up making, anytime I make gravy, I'm always waiting on the gravy. And everything else is already done and I'm stuck waiting on the gravy. So this is going to be a nice little sizzle. Watch out. Oop, that might get a smoke signal. Let's hope not. Put too much water in here right out of the gate, but that's fine. This gravy is still the consistency, the color that I want. And we can just cook the water out of it. Thankfully, that was mostly steam and it didn't get it's not smoke, it's steam. And it's already bubbling. So I'm going to pull this heat down. And just like gravy, you just keep stirring. Show you guys, you see where the bubbles are? That's the hot spot on this element underneath, and I can move it around here. If I move it there, that handle's getting hot now. You'll see the bubbles move over here. And they're not too much over here. I can literally scrape the bubbles away. And this is actually, we might have nailed the consistency side in that first pour of water there. Because this is about what I want it to look like at this point in the cooking process. We're still not at the 10-minute mark on the rice yet. I don't know if you guys can hear. I don't know how, but when I'm scraping here, there's not a lot of resistance. And the fork is able to smoothly hit the bottom of the pan in all the areas I want it to. So that means I've pretty much got everything off the bottom of the pan that I wanted off the bottom and into the flavor, and you can tell that because of the color of the sauce. It's nice and dark. And this is it. This is what it's like. Just stirring gravy. Be sure to like the video if you haven't. So now, all right, and there has been 20 minutes. And now the timer is on 10 minutes over here, so this is perfect. You'll notice that the bubbles have gone from a large, wide span to just right here in the middle. And I don't know if you guys noticed, there was a little bit of a film across the top that you disturb when you stir it. That's what I want. I'm bringing this all the way down to low. Ooh, it's hot. Which means that all the heat is staying in the meat. And it is also probably heating the onions. I'm glad I stopped adding water when I did, because didn't need no more water. Now, this still happens to me sometimes. It happened in that last gravy that I made with the pork chops, where I won't allow enough time for the, can you guys see there when I'm scraping it, you see the bottom of the pan is like clean, because this gravy has pulled all the stuff from the bottom of the pan. You see there? You don't allow the flour enough time to have that flour taste cooked out of it, which isn't good. That's not what you want. But now, even with the fork, you see we're getting a good, like it's thickening up nicely. And to be perfectly honest, I'm going to take the heat all the way off, and I'm taking this off of the heat. So I think that gravy is good. It just needs a minute to rest. What's up, Blue Magic? Absolutely. Blue Magic, 100%. That's why I'm from South Carolina, buddy. This is how we cook there. What's up, Guy? How you doing, buddy? You get a wrench. Everybody gets a wrench, by the way. Yeah, 100%. These are very working class, like poor people. This is the food. These are the foods I grew up on. My grandmother would make hamburger steaks. Let's go ahead and get this cast iron weight washed here. By the way, if you don't have one of these, like the things that they use at the Waffle House for the bacon and such, I encourage you that if you do cast iron cooking or any flat top cooking like that, I don't have a flat top, but it works fine in the cast iron, and that's how I use it. Get you one of these, and it's not like you can wash this with soap. It's not like your regular cast iron. But yeah, we would do, my grandmother would make she would make hamburgers like this in the cast iron on the stove. And she would make a gravy, and at about the point our gravy is right now, she would put the hamburger patties back in it. But she did regular size hamburgers because she was cooking for a lot of people, you know, and I'm just doing this for myself. But she was cooking for the whole family, and she would do, that was a normal lunch around the house. She would make rice, and you know, growing up, I was raised with my grandparents, so like growing up with them, Granny's house was always where everybody was every day for lunch. Every day for lunch, that's where they were. Okay, so now I can see, before I break it up, I'm gonna let you guys see this. I can see this film across the top here, you see? Like I just exposed it a little bit. That's what you want. You know you're doing the gravy right whenever you got that film there that breaks off whenever you're stirring. So this is exactly what you want. That's the consistency that you need for gravy. It's all gonna run back into the center like that. Sassy. Hey, Sass. Don't be scared, man. Yeah, hey, it's a lot of stirring. Gravy skin singles. Oh, snap. Yeah, seriously, Blue, all you got to do, man, is whatever protein you cook, if it's a fatty cut, make sure to not drain any of the grease. Leave all of the grease. That's the key. All you need to make gravy is grease and flour, really. Oh, did you? Did they like it? Good. Those biscuits, that biscuit recipe, 3 ingredients: Crisco, buttermilk, and flour, and that's it. A little salt. Maybe top the tops with a little butter. So I guess 5 ingredient biscuits, but still awesome. And the gravy is good too. Like, okay, so the way that the gravy that Lauren here, Sassy, is talking about is it takes a whole, what's up, Lance? That's right. That's right. You got to put you get a wrench, Lance. You got to put maybe put the patty back in the, should we do that? Should we put our patty back in here? Well, I don't want to do that because, I made a bit of rice, and I'm going to taste this now. All right. Your gravy, so keep this in mind. Your gravy is going to take on the flavor of the meat that rendered the grease to make it. So, using hamburger meat, the gravy has a ground beef flavor to it. If you use pork chops, it'll have that flavor, so on and so forth. This gravy is very good. It's done right. We got 2 minutes on the rice. This is going to be perfect for the rice. It's going to be perfect for the meat and the onions. By the way, we got 2 minutes on the rice here. Like I said, this gravy's hot. We don't need this guy anymore. We can take this 2 minutes to wash our dirties. And if you are new here, this is something that I remind everybody every single time. Whenever you get done eating, you never want to look at the kitchen and see a mountain of dirty dishes that you need to wash. That's always the worst feeling that you get. So don't overlook that while you're cooking, and take that opportunity when you're waiting on things like we're waiting on this rice right now. Go ahead and use that. You're not doing anything else. There's no need in putting it off. Go ahead and wash your utensils as you're going That way, whenever you get done eating, all you'll have to wash is the plate you're eating out of and the utensils that you use. And also, I don't really use a dishwasher. I mean, I'll do for like cups and things like that that are just annoying to wash, but yeah, I don't really use. That's right. Wash as you go. Make your life less stressed. That's right. You'll enjoy the meal more. Rice is done, and I'm gonna click that. You see all that beautiful steam coming out there. Get us. Where's my bowl that I like to use? Here it is. Let's bring you guys over here for this. Okay. Well, honestly, I'm trying to get you guys a decent angle of this. I could just hold the, yeah, I'm gonna just do that. We're gonna migrate all this over to the table in a second anyway, but need this, where's the, well, where's the plastic? Because I don't want to use metal stuff inside that. Oh. This will work. All right. So here is our rice. And look at how soft. This is just coming around. There is an old school Ludwig kick drum back here. My roommate, Gnarly Parker, Tony Fat Hands, is a drummer. I also play drums, but he's an actual drummer. I'm just a musician that dabbles. So with that rice there, yeah. Old school. Yep. Old school guy. I'm gonna unplug this rice cooker so that rice doesn't foul up on the bottom. And I'm taking this moment. I really need the other spoon that I had because the one that I just used has holes in it. That's fine. Is there a big spoon here? That's fine. We'll just use this big spoon. And we'll leave this wrapped up because this is still hot here. And we'll reveal the meat in a second. Check this out though. And the consistency of that gravy, how it's not running back to the other side so fast. This is exactly what we want. Super dark. The exact consistency that we want. And that's enough rice for this bowl. Leave that there like that. And now I'm going to show you guys the steam on the underside of this is leaking out of the bottom of this. Bam. Here's our hamburger steak. Here's our onions. And with this, I'm also gonna hit it with gravy on the top of the steak there. And then some gravy around on the onions as well. This is going to be a very gravy-rich dish, but that's what we wanted. This is what we're here for. Now, here's something that I do, and I made more rice than just the one bowl there. That's pretty hot. I can get it over here. So I'm gonna take a couple of scoops of rice here. Go straight into the pan. Actually, just one scoop at a time because there's not a lot of gravy left. And I'm using this rice to soak up the gravy on the bottom of the pan here. It helps to clean. It helps to clean it. And then at the end, you have a pretty high-powered sprayer on your sink. I'm actually gonna that's enough. We got not a whole lot of rice left. The rice and gravy, not much more you can ask for. Hold on. All right. This aluminum foil. Actually, this rice, I'm going to go ahead and get out of the cooker here. Give this the old switcheroo. That over here. I'll roll this up into a big rice burrito here. Give it a wrap on one end, give it a wrap on the other end, and then bam. We got a little rice burrito there that we can make, like, I'll make fried rice or anything like that, then you can. And a little high pressure power on the bottom of this rice cooker. And all of a sudden everything's broken apart. Anything else? Get in there with your fingers. Don't be scared. And I got food I want to enjoy before it gets too cold, but I got an OCD. And usually when you get to the end of your rice and gravy in the bowl, you have the thought, boy, I could go for a little bit more of that rice and gravy. And that's right there in the cast iron. You can scoop that out, and then by the time, I'm going to show you guys, because we're going to eat together, and then we're going to wash the cast iron. That'll be it. In fact, I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm going to let this sit upside down to dry properly, and I'll take you guys off of this stand and bring you over here like this. There we go. That's fine. Oh. You know what? Water. All right. So this is what we're looking at. Here's our meal. And actually, I'm going to turn my light source towards us. There we go. Turn our light source towards us there, so you guys can see what we got. This gravy is super dark. That's what I want. And a lot of people are anti-mixing. They want you to take a little bite and then dip. I don't do that. I want to mix all the gravy in with what I'm eating. And this is like super cheap. Like out of this, I got a 5-pound roll of hamburger meat, and I took 2 pounds, two 2-pound portions out for spaghetti sauce, and I made 2 portions of spaghetti. I got this hamburger meat that I made this out of. I got it like probably, it's been over a month. Just get those 5-pound rolls and then portion them out and freeze them. But this was the remaining pound. And then the rice ends up this like dirty rice consistency, you see? What more do you want? This reminds me of sitting on a little stool facing the kitchen that my grandmother cooked in. That was my spot. It was like it was my special spot that I ate in when I was a kid, that had my first little stool that was mine. And this gravy takes me right back there. That is exactly what this tastes like. Now, I'm gonna, with the fork, cut a little portion of the hamburger out here. Check out the hamburger steak. Got a little color in there, which is what I like. You see, a little color. And I'm gonna scoop up a few of these onions with this gravy and the meat. Like there's nothing more. There's nothing more. These onions are good by themselves. But I like onions. So I like onions. So it's like easy for me to enjoy it. But this is what we got. You see, you got a little color in there on the hamburger meat. Which I personally enjoy. Do the old stab and scoop on some of these onions. This is the kind of stuff. This is the kind of stuff that's like Blue was saying earlier when he came in. This is the kind of stuff that like people in the South keep alive. Like just cooking like this, because it hasn't been, especially in recent history, things that are deemed unhealthy, which by the way, I always say this to the folks that have been here. If you're looking for things that are healthy or like, this ain't the channel for you. If you're looking for healthy things, we don't do that here. We cook the way we cook what tastes good. And I mean, for years, generations, people ate like this, and they dealt with whatever issues came with it, and that's just how it was. So I don't see. I'll deal with the issues that come with this, but I'm not gonna sacrifice flavor for anything, man. I just don't do that. This is really good, y'all. Oh yeah, we're all gonna be pushing up daisies. We all owe that debt, no matter what. You could run marathons, you could be in great shape, spend your time doing that. Won't make you live forever. Like, dude, look at this. This is just this is a perfect little bite right here, because I like the color of it, you see? It's a little medium rare in there, or medium. It's probably closer to medium. That's what you like. Home cooking's right. Oh man, my nose is running again. I'm actually gonna take a little bit of these onions, a little spoonful of onions, well, a fork full of onions, and go into this rice with them. Now I'm gonna do a little rice and onions. Exactly, Blue. Exactly. It's what it is, and like, it's gonna change soon. Like, all that food pyramid stuff that was pushed on us all those years on account of the people who are funding all of these people that are saying you should listen to this stuff is caused to create problems like processed nonsense. But I'll tell you what, my granddad lived to 72. My grandmother lived to 75. So that's probably what I got ahead of me. That's what I got ahead of me. But before, in the generations before, like Jason just said, in the last 20 years or so, these things that are good to eat and are actually healthy, and not just healthy, but like kind of necessary for your, for your systems, were deemed unhealthy. And what's not unhealthy is using actual real butter to cook these fresh onions and this hamburger meat that I seasoned myself with my own ingredients, and this rice that I made myself after washing off all the unnecessary starches off of it, seasoning it with my own actual ingredients, making the hamburger patty, making this gravy from scratch, from grease rendered from the meat that we've cooked and the onions that we've cooked. Like when you use, like of course, and look, I ate Domino's last night, bro. Like I ain't too worried about any of the other stuff, but I'm just saying, like, when you cook your own food with actual ingredients, like, it's gonna be better for you than if you get the same meal elsewhere. I'm so glad that this gravy turned out good, because I did not like my pork chop gravy the other day. I didn't let the That's streamed as well if you guys want to see the pork chop stream. And also, we're going to be doing games here in a minute, or in probably within the hour. Yeah, the pork chop gravy. I didn't let the flour cook long enough to get rid of the flour taste. So it had an overwhelming flour flavor, which isn't good. You don't want that. But this gravy I did right, and I needed a win. This is a really nice way, like I said, the hamburger meat, probably, let's see, $5, 5 pounds of meat is probably somewhere around 18 bucks at HEB now. Groceries are pretty high. Hopefully not for long. So yeah, for 18 bucks, give or take, so that would be like, I'd probably take about $14. This is probably like $4 worth of meat here. Maybe $4 or $5 worth of meat here. And pack of onions is about $3. So one onion is probably about 75 cents. The rice, I probably used, I don't know, 50, less than $1 worth of rice. So this whole meal that I made, everything, ingredients, all included, is going to be less than 10 bucks. And for less than 10 bucks, this really stretches $1 pretty far. Not just good for your belly, but your back pocket too. Oh yeah. And dude, I mean, like, I'm not gonna need to eat anything else tonight before I go to bed, which needs to be early because I got that show tomorrow. I love it when the gravy comes out good. The only thing that would have improved this was when I initially put flour into the cup, to season and mix, I took a little flour away. I should have just left that amount of flour in there, because after adding that knob of butter, there was enough grease and fat to hold all that flour, because then I had to add some more at the end. And the amount that I added is probably the amount that I took out. So I could have cut that step out. But it's also nice to be to recognize that something needs to be corrected, and you can do so on the fly. That's always a good thing to do. This rice is so good. It just came out so nice. It's like it has the perfect color, and like this is just nice. I'm down to my last bite of the steak. And that's that. Oh shit. My light just fell. Damn. I have to fix this back. I'm gonna go back into the room where I took this light from. All right. You can go back here in the stationary spot. Let me grab our dishes. Well, this can. Anything else? By the way, when you pick up butter, most people can't wrap the thing back. Let me show you. Look, this is completely unwrapped on the end. Push, push, and push. It wants to go back together. It wants to go back together. And then you push on the top, you see? It wants to go back together the way that it did. And see now? You've got it sealed off perfectly at the end. It just, and then you can pinch and twist. So with the rest of the rice here, I'm going to scrape this into the bowl here. The rest of the gravy rice. And after that, look at this. Like there's a little something in there, but I'm going to show you. Watch this. Actually, first, I we're gonna wash the, let's come over here, get a little bit better of a view. That's what I'm doing here. See that? And that's basically clean already. Bam. This plate goes right there. That's where that plate lives. This guy can go there for now. And my favorite fork. And that goes in there. All right, now, well, I'll go ahead and get this butter knife here. And don't be afraid to use your fingers to knock something out of the way. Like there was a little butter on the edge of that. Like just knock it off with your finger. It's not gonna hurt nothing. You're washing dishes. Your hands can get dirty. You're literally working with soap. I'm gonna go ahead and wash all the things that I need soap for before I get this cast iron going in here. You don't use soap for the cast iron. And if you've ever wondered how to wash cast iron and you haven't seen it before here on this channel, we're going to show you. And like I said, I'm not a huge fan of dishwashers. I, for too many years, had roommates that would just put stuff in a dishwasher and like put dirty stuff in a dishwasher and just leave it in there for more than a day, and then it ends up coming out with gunky stuff on it, and that stuff ends up just going into the cabinets and into the drawers because people think, oh, it's been through the dishwasher, it's clean now, but that's not always the case. So I don't really trust dishwashers. Got these two guys here. Normally I would put cups in the dishwasher, but my main ire with cups is that my hand doesn't fit to the bottom, so I can't properly wash the bottom that good in most cups. But for these things, they're pretty big, so I can get in there and wash all of the necessary crevices pretty easily. Especially glasses, man. I lost some glasses because the old roommate had hoarded some glasses up in the room for several months, it seems. And there was just a little foggy There was just a foggy accumulation on the bottom of the glasses that is disgusting, and I didn't like that at all, so I just tossed them. All right, first what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that my steel wool, or as some may call a scouring pad, is free of all soap residue. I'm going to do the same here. On this whole thing, I'm making sure I don't want any soap on this guy. So here's how we do it. Here's how I do it. Just lay it across like that. It'll fit the lip there and the handle here. Just a little water, just enough. And then you literally just give it a couple of, don't even really need a whole lot of elbow grease in it. Just a couple of swipes around with just a little bit of water. I'm going to rinse this guy out again. Give it a couple of slaps on the edge of the sink here. Let it release any kind of surface shit that might be gunked in there on it. And then that's that. Now you know how they say a well-seasoned cast iron is naturally non-stick? Look at that. Doesn't that look pretty non-stick to you? So we leave it there. And of course there's going to be a little dark residue on your paper towel when you go to clean it like this. That's what it is. If you say, ooh, that's gross, then I suggest you go and take this. If any of you guys use an outdoor grill, take a paper towel and go wipe down your grill grates that you cook things on all the time. I'm telling you, it's fine. And then look how clean this guy is. Look at that. He's perfect. And then what I do, put it back on the, well, first, leave this to the side over here. I take, you guys will notice I balled up a few paper towels and set them to the side. All these balled up paper towels, what they do is you come over here and just wipe the whole stove down. And I specifically concentrate on this area that I use to cook. Everybody uses this area right here to cook, and there's a couple of things that these aren't getting up. So wipe that down. What you can't get up with that, bring in the sponge. Your stove top is a dish as well. You can wash it with the sponge. So then, after that, you come and just wipe off the soap. So we've recycled paper towels. And we've got a clean stove. And I'm going to crank this to about just under low and let that sit there and get all of the Get all the moisture out of it, because you don't want any moisture to be inside the cast iron at all. Y'all hear that? This has been a good stream so far. We're about to finish up here and migrate to the desk and get a more proper stream set up for the gaming. So we've got a little pouch of rice we'll throw in here. We got probably hot dogs tomorrow. I got some chicken thighs is the only meats that I got left. I got a YouTube payout. Shout out YouTube, and shout out to everybody who's become a member, drop super chats, any of that stuff. It absolutely helps. That's going to buy me groceries this time around. That's what I've done the last time I've gotten YouTube payouts, is I've gone straight to HEB and I've spent it on groceries. So that's what's going to happen. Also, here's a little rice cooker secret right here. So with your rice cooker, if you use rice cooker, it's going to accumulate a little condensation under the lip here. So you just want to make sure you give that a nice little wipe out, and then wipe the top off as well, because the rice is going to have it'll just accumulate up top there. And make sure that you get all the moisture out of it. And then there's nothing in there. There's a little thing back here. If there's water floating in it, I always just turn it to the side to drain it out. There wasn't anything in it this time, I don't think. And then rice cooker's good to go away. Now, here is a thing that I don't have to treat everything like a training session, but I'm very good at doing this stuff. So you get up just to the length from the back. You can leave it plugged into the back. Get up to just the length of the top here and a little bit higher. And if you wrap it and you keep this thing wrapped every time, it'll just fall back into place like it's supposed to. And everything is wrapped nicely. So then you can just scoop this sucker right underneath the lid here, and it's neat and ready to be packed to lay down here. So it's not taking up unnecessary counter space. And that is everything that we're going to wash right this second. I do realize I still have this on low out here. That's not going to hurt nothing. Paper towel over here that I used. I need to hell yeah. And once again, guys, thank y'all for watching as always. I'm honestly just going to leave this bowl of rice and gravy sitting here, because I know I'm going to come out here at some point and be like, oh, there's rice and gravy. All right. What's the easiest route for me to... Okay, I know. We're going to take water jug, drink cup, fan off. I'm going to unplug this power cable here. We didn't even need to charge the phone during this stream. And we're going to bring this back to the room. There we go. Oh, hey. You notice how bad the camera quality gets when the lighting gets bad? I'll bring that up a lot. And that. I'm going to put this cup right here. And unravel this guy. And I need this to come through here. Just like this. Now I've got a power cable there, ready to be used. This guy can be plugged back into this power bank. And brought up here. Also looped through this Velcro. And let's crank up the computer. Bam. I gotta get this portion of the room set back. Oh, hold on. I'll be right back, guys. I need to grab one more thing. I'm actually gonna put some more ice in here too. I'll be right back. And then we'll have a word from our sponsors and we'll move on to the games. Bam. Get that guy right there. And we won't even need it tonight. But sometimes I need to fix it back. Goes a little higher than that. I like the light source to come from above rather than like any lower, because I think it seems unnatural when the light comes from anywhere other than above. First things first. Ah. Had to get the meat out of there. Now, we are going to a little Dr. Pepper, the official sponsor of college football. A little Dr. Pepper. And bam. All right. Oh, one of these Death Squad notifications. Is that? Okay, that was last night. All right. So now let's go ahead and open up OBS and Firefox and restream. Why am I not signed in? Weird. OBS, yes. Yeah, apply. Okay. I want to kill that window capture. Go to stage. Actually, we'll do kill companion. Update titles. 284. Number 13. Yonder Live, we've done 284 of these things. I'm full. We've cooked, and now we what? This is a really underrated. Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad are very underrated. Let's see. Oh, I need to get this thing turned on. And I need to get this thing turned on. So this is my regular phone, my daily driver, my phone. And I have the other ones. This one is for a camera. This one is for a monitor. That one is just so I can have connection to the outside world. Because other than when I stream, by the way, when I'm streaming like this, I have zero connection to the outside world other than you guys. So if anybody ever tried to get a hold of me while I was streaming, it'd be a pretty hard thing to do. All right, now we get this. I'll bring y'all over here to the phone monitor screen. Because I need to do OBS on this one, and we got it there. I need to just make sure that it comes through here. All right, and there's that. There's that. Oh, we'll put this guy back over here where it goes, and we'll put Frankie back up here where he goes. And we'll swing him around a little bit, actually. There we go. All right, so that is set nicely. Does that go up any higher? Yeah. There it is. Bam. All right. And that's how the setup goes once I get it going. And you guys will be able to see that if you want to jump on to the upcoming live stream that's about to happen any minute now. Oh yeah, title. It's game time. We ate Sunday dinner, now let's play. Update all. And we've got our monitor phone here ready. Connected to Wi-Fi. And we get there next to where all I got to do is hit the button to reload the channel so that I can have a chat. And it looks like we're ready. It's game time. We ate Sunday dinner, now let's play. We go to stage left, which is just my face. And yep, that's good. Make sure when I hit this button, that's going to come on, and it looks like it will. Now let's get our sound effects soundboard loaded up. Let's make sure that if something plays, it'll...
This is just bad reception, honey.
Respect my hairy ass.
What's that?
Yep, that comes through on the audio nicely. It looks like it. So now we are prepped. All we have to do is click start stream now. But unfortunately for you guys, if you don't come to the next stream, you're not going to see what happens next. So I suggest that we go ahead. I'm going to get a little word from our sponsors ready here. So I'm going to do a couple back-to-back. By the way, all of those drops that I use are all American Pie. I love the, like that one that I just played. Like,
This is just bad reception, honey.
Respect my hairy ass.
What's that?
What's that? I like that one. He is so good. Eugene Levy is so good in that movie where...
Well, safer than a tube sock.
Safer than a tube sock.
Suck me, beautiful.
Yeah, of course, Stifler, and then of course.
And one time at band camp?
That's right. Anyway. All right, so we're about to have a little, I'm going to do this right now while we're still in it. Actually, let me get a little on-screen monitor opened up here. All right. So what's happening now, guys, I'm going to go ahead and start this stream right now. Starting the stream, and we are live now officially, and we gotta copy the link, and then we're gonna come in here to our hamburger steak stream. To our hamburger steak. Wow. Stream. To our hamburger steak. Wow. Dude, it's almost non-existence. Okay, and there is the link. Go ahead and click that link because now the intro is starting. I'm going to go ahead and flip this to the next stream there. And now, bam. So, all right, you guys here, click that link because this stream is ending. let's go ahead and have a word from our sponsors right here, right now. This stream ends and the other one picks up. What's cool is that the live chat from this stream is also playing on the other stream as well. With that being said, everybody migrate on over. And I'll see you guys over there. Roll Tide to you. Make hamburger steak. Tag me in it on Instagram and I'll repost the story. Yeah, be sure to do that. Roll Tide to you, everybody. See y'all on the other stream, okay?